Hello students, in this video, the learning outcome of today's lecture is derive the three equations of motion graphically. This is the most important question of this chapter. The three equations of motion are used in physics. Almost in every chapter, these three equations of motion are used. There are three different methods to derive these three equations of motion: analytical method, graphical method and calculus method. Analytical method is the most simplest one. It is the simplest method. Graphical method is in your syllabus. Calculus method is not of your level, that you will be learning in your 11th class. So in this lecture today, let us see how to derive the three equations of motion graphically. Before we derive the first part of your derivation, answer should be the introduction. So introduction, what is the introduction here? As I have told you, always the body will be moving in a straight line. Consider a body moving in a straight line with uniform acceleration A. It means the three equations of motion that we are going to derive, they are valid for uniformly accelerated motion. So consider a body moving in a straight line with uniform acceleration A. Let its initial velocity be u. Initial velocity means when time is equal to 0, let the initial velocity be u. It means body was already in motion. Final velocity be v after time t. So after time t, the final velocity becomes v. And displacement covered in this time t is s. So I have introduced all the letters here. A is a uniform acceleration of this body which is moving in a straight line. U is its initial velocity, that is at time t is equal to 0, and after time t velocity is v, and s is the magnitude of displacement covered, or I can also say distance covered in time t, as the body is moving in a straight line. Distance or displacement, both words can be used here, and here also speed and magnitude of velocity, anything can be used. Okay, so this is the introduction part. Now next part will be, we have to draw the graph. Consider the VT graph of the body as shown below. We don't have to use here ST graph, we will be using the VT graph. So VT graph of the body, we know it is in uniformly accelerated motion. So what is the nature? Nature is a straight line inclined to time axis. But I have not drawn this straight line inclined passing through the origin. Why? Because the body is not initially at rest. It is having some initial velocity u. Okay, I hope you remember this graph. VT graph for a body in uniformly accelerated motion when it does not start from rest. So, after drawing the graph, VT graph for a body in uniformly accelerated motion, let us do little bit construction. Now what is the construction? See, graph is AB, solid straight line, and dotted lines here represent the construction. What construction I have drawn? Draw AE. First of all, I have given the name AB to the graph. AB to the graph's curve part, I can say it is a straight line. AB is a graph. Draw AE perpendicular to velocity axis. A dotted E, using the scale I can draw the perpendicular to velocity axis. AD perpendicular to time axis. From A, drop a perpendicular AD on time axis. BC perpendicular to AD. BC, from B I have dropped a perpendicular on AD. All three perpendiculars that are drawn can be drawn with the scale, and I can show this rectangular sign to mean that it is a perpendicular, and these should be dotted lines, not solid lines. Okay, now we can easily see from here that OB is equal to CD is equal to U. OB, because initial velocity is U, OB is equal to CD is equal to U. EO is equal to AD is equal to V. EO represents the final velocity. So EO is V and that is also equal to AD and AD is also V. AC, we can easily see from that diagram that AC is equal to EB. AC is equal to EB. And what is EB? EB is EO minus OB. EB is EO minus OB. And what is EO? EO is V, OB is U, so EB is V minus U. What is BC? BC is equal to OD and we know OD is the time after which the velocity becomes V. So whatever in introduction I have taken related to velocity and time, that I have represented on the graph. First I have drawn the simple graph, correct graph, then construction, then mention which sides are equal and what are their values. Suppose in exam you don't want to write this, you can omit this part here, but at least your diagram should be full completed, showing all this, giving all this information. Now students, whether the question is derive the first equation of motion, second or third, whatever we have covered till now, introduction part and the graph and the construction, that is common for all the three equations of motion. When you are asked to derive more than one equation of motion, you can do that work once only. So let us continue now. Let us see the derivation of first equation of motion. See, this is the first equation of motion. V is equal to U plus AT. You know, U is initial velocity, V is final velocity, A is the acceleration of the body and T is the time after which the velocity becomes V. Now we have to derive this equation of motion graphically. So obviously we are going to use a graph. We know that slope of VT graph gives us what? Acceleration. Hope you remember this. You have done this. We have done this in the previous lecture. Slope of VT graph gives acceleration. So acceleration A is equal to slope is equal to, what is slope? I have told you one method of remembering the slope, it is perpendicular upon base. So in this case, slope is AC upon BC. So slope of VT graph gives acceleration. So acceleration A is slope is AC upon BC. And from the diagram, we can see that AC is V minus U and BC is T. So simplifying this, V minus U is equal to AT. And thus, taking U on the other side, we get V is equal to U plus AT. This is nothing but our first equation of motion. Now let us see how to derive the second equation of motion. What is second equation of motion? It is as shown here. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Now to derive this, again we have to use a graph. Okay. So here, let us take the other use of VT graph. Area under VT graph gives the magnitude of displacement covered. We know that although in a straight line, magnitude of displacement and distance are same and magnitude of velocity and speed are same, but actually the real thing we should use here magnitude of displacement and velocity only, but even if I use the other words, it's fine. Area under VT graph gives a magnitude of displacement covered. Now let us see. Now look at the figure. What is area under the VT graph? Our graph is AB and area under that graph, I have told you before also, which area? Above the time axis and below the graph. So this I have shaded. Area under the VT graph above the time axis I have shaded, and we know that it takes the shape of a trapezium. So area of VT graph gives the magnitude of displacement covered. So in this case, S is equal to, area of this shaded portion is trapezium. So area of trapezium ABOD. We can write the name of the trapezium. S is area of the trapezium, ABOD. Now formula for area of trapezium you must be knowing. It is half into sum of the length of parallel sides into perpendicular distance between the two parallel sides. So that is half into OB plus AD into, either you can write here BC or you can write OD because both are perpendicular distances. Now let us put these values from the graph. Half into OB is U plus AD is V into BC is T. Okay. So I have just taken the use of VT graph and I have started this. Now here I have got S is equal to half into U plus V into T. Now let me put the value of V from the first equation of motion. So from first equation of motion, V is equal to U plus AT. So instead of V, I am putting that value. So S is equal to half into U plus, instead of V now we have U plus AT into T is equal to half into U plus U is 2U plus AT, then bracket into T. Now multiply this T with both the terms inside the bracket. So it will be equal to half into 2U into T, 2UT plus AT into T, AT square. Now next we are again going to open this bracket and multiply half with each term. And we see that first term becomes half into 2UT, 2 gets cancelled. So first term is UT plus half into AT square. Half AT square is the next term. So we can see here that finally the equation becomes S is equal to UT plus half AT square. And this is our second equation of motion. Now let us see how to derive third equation of motion. And third equation of motion is V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. This is very simple because it is half part of it is just similar to the derivation of second equation of motion. See, same thing we have written. Area under VT graph gives the magnitude of displacement covered. And so that is trapezium. S is equal to area of trapezium ABOD. And we have written the formula half into OB plus AD into BC for the area of trapezium. And after putting these values, again we can get S is equal to half into U plus V into T. Till here the derivation is exactly the same as we have done for second equation of motion. The only difference is in the next step, for the second equation of motion, we put the value of V from the first equation of motion. For third equation of motion, we put the value of T, but again from the first equation of motion. Now our first equation of motion is V is U plus AT. So from that equation, what is the value of T? T is V minus U upon A. So instead of this T, I'll put V minus U upon A, and U plus V can be written as V plus U. I don't think so you should have any problem here. So we can write S is equal to V plus U into V minus U is what? It is V square minus U square. You know, A plus B into A minus B is A square minus B square. So similarly here, V plus U into V minus U is V square minus U square. And in the denominator we have 2 into A is 2A. Simplifying this, we get V square minus U square is 2AS, and thus V square is U square plus 2AS. This is our third equation of motion. Hope students you have understood the three equations of motion, how to derive them. Now students, let us summarize here. So the three equations of motion are, first is V is U plus AT. It is also called as velocity time relation. It means if you are asked to derive the velocity time relation, you should know that it is derivation of first equation of motion. Second relation, which is, or second equation of motion is S is ut plus half at square, and this equation or relation is also called as displacement time or position time relation. as it gives us the distance covered in time t. Now, again, if the question is derive the second equation of motion or derive displacement time or position time relation, it means the answer is same. Third equation of motion, which is v square is u square plus 2as. In this we don't have time. We have velocity and we have displacement. So this is velocity displacement, or we can say velocity position relation. So you should know these names also of these three equations of motion, because sometimes question may be in this form. Okay, and also what is a major mistake that students do? If the question comes, derive the three equations of motion, few students what they do, they just derive the third equation of motion and leave the answer and lose the marks. You should read the question properly, whether it is derive the third equation of motion or derive the three equations of motion. This was the most important part of the chapter. Hope you have learned how to derive the three equations of motion. You should be able to derive it properly, and if graph is missing in your derivation, you should not be given any mark, because the question here is derive the three equations of motion graphically. Now students, there is one more equation, fourth equation of motion, but that is not included in your 9th class syllabus. I'll be completing that in the next lecture, because that is required for the different entrance exams you require it, but at least not for your 9th class. So hope you have understood this lecture very well. Thank you students.